Hey there everybody, Matthew Armstrong here on day 36 of this 100-day challenge to create financial freedom. And in this particular video, I'm going to give you 3 reasons why you may be broke, or 3 reasons why you have money problems or money issues, whether it be with creating, making money, or earning money, or saving money, or investing money, or you're just stressed about money even though you've got money. Some people have a load of money in the bank and they're still stressed about money. They're afraid of losing it, So in this video, I'm going to shed some light on the 3 main reasons, 3 reasons really, why that is so, and also how to shift them. So anyway, I'm going to start with a story to illustrate one of them. Might be a bit weird because it's directly related to it, but it's something that happened that was I believe is quite relevant, because it's one of the things is when specific instances happen, whether they're traumatic or whatever, they create an emotional an emotional trauma within us, then that can have a massive effect on our life, quite often obviously negative, so we got to get through that. So something that happened to me a few years ago is I was bitten by a spider. I was out in the garden doing yoga, doing my shoulder stand, and a spider bit me on the back, and it was really painful. I don't know what type of spider it was. I didn't actually see the spider, but I know I got bitten by an insect, and I'm guessing it was a spider. And so I went and looked in the mirror, and I could see these red lines moving through my back, and it was scary. I thought that something had burrowed its way in there and was crawling through my back, or something like that, or the poison was making its way through, or whatever. But I had these like red lines actually moving along my back in underneath my skin. And so it was pretty scary, and I'm the sort of person who, like, last resort I go to a doctor, last resort I go to a hospital. I usually just treat myself with whatever I need to do, but I had this thing crawling underneath my skin, so I went, screw it, I'm going to the hospital, I'm going to casualty A&E, whatever. So it was then a Saturday night, and I went in, so it was pretty busy and stuff, and the doctors and the staff were probably just worked a really long shift, and they just had enough of tourists and whoever else coming in. And so I went in there with this thing and saw a doctor, and the doctor looked and said, it just looks like it's the poison moving through your skin. I don't think anything's actually under crawling in there, although she didn't seem that certain that she really knew anyway. But she said, okay, we'll give you like an antihistamine injection. I said, okay, that's maybe not too bad, I'll take that, right? And so I got sent to this room, and these 2 guys come in, who male nurse or whoever, probably has had a long day, and they went to inject me, and they got a surprise, and I got a surprise. But let's go back a little bit. Many years ago, because I never used to have any fear of injections. I never had any fear of it growing up, none whatsoever. If a doctor was putting an injection in me, they'd generally say, look away. Even when I was a kid, I'd look and go, oh, interesting, this needle going in and out of my arm, or wherever they're putting it. Even when I was doing a combat medics course, I did it on a ship when I was in the Marines. There was a storm force gale blowing, the ship was going up and down, and I was having people putting drips into my arms, as I was one of the people going, yeah, I'll do it, yeah, sure, just throw a drip in there, throw a drip in there. And I was standing there, the ship was going all over the place, people were puking everywhere, and there's people like sticking needles into my arm, and they weren't getting them right, and my arm was all bruised and everything. I was like, oh yeah, just stick it in again, no problem. So I literally had no fear of it whatsoever. But something had happened that night, because I was under I was under stress, because I was afraid that there's something crawling under my skin. So already I was going through some sort of trauma already, because I didn't know what this was. I mean, bitten by something, was something crawling underneath my skin, moving towards my heart. I was a little bit afraid. And so then when these guys came in to inject me, the doctor didn't inspire confidence at all, because she didn't really know what it was. She was like, oh, well, let's just give you an antihistamine, right? So these guys came in, they'd probably had a bad day, they just want to get home. And at the time, and still now, I've got very little body fat on me. So my glutes, my butt cheeks, there's like the fat is like that thick, and then it's just pure muscle. And so they got the injection, and the guy just went like that. That's how quickly he stuck it in, and it just ripped through muscle. And I just went, ah! It was excruciatingly painful. It's something he's not used to probably, because most people are just like a big sort of jelly butt. It's just fat, and it's a lot less dense, so it doesn't hurt as much just going through fat. But he just jammed it straight into my muscle, and my muscle contracted, made it even more painful. Probably hit a nerve or something, probably close to the bone or whatever. And I went into like excruciating pain as my muscle completely seized up. So I just started fainting. The blood drained out of me, and I just started to go down. The two of them grabbed me, laid me up on a bed, and he just like squirted the stuff in really quick. Again, that is massively painful if you push the stuff in quickly. It's straight into muscle. So they laid me up on the bed, just left me there and walked out. They had other people to deal with. So after a while, I kind of woke up and got in my car and went home. But I was limping for 2 days from that experience. So I didn't realize it until recently. I decided I wanted to jack up my B12. My B12 is actually fine, but I thought, I wonder how that will affect my athletic performance if I get it higher. So I got some B12 shots, and to my surprise, I developed a phobia to shots, to injections, and I just couldn't believe it. But Victoria gave me a shot, and I was like, whoa, I'm about to faint here. And I nearly fainted from just getting this B12 shot. I was like, what's going on? I never had that before. And then I remembered a couple of years ago was the last time I had an injection, was that traumatic experience. And that had stayed with me in my unconscious mind. And I've done some stuff to get over it now, and I'm pretty much over it now. But it was a traumatic event that happened, and it affected my life when that went to happen again. So that is one of the 3 things I want to talk about, and that is specific instances. So the 3 things, right? Three things. Three things, or 3 reasons. Yeah, let's make that 3 reasons. Why? Let's just call it 3 reasons why you're broke. Can you see that okay? That's better. So reason number 1 is specific instances. So we could obviously relate this to like lots of different things, like I was saying with my experience with the injections. But just say if you're broke, look back at your life and what specific instances surrounding money might have had an effect there. It could have been watching a movie. It could have been watching a movie that was very, very emotional, that had an impact on you. It might have been a specific instance like that where the people in the movie were trying to make money, or they were like really rich, really wealthy, and they're really bad people, and they hurt people and kill people and stuff like that. That might have been a specific instance where you're a child and you watch that, and suddenly you relate it in your head, you associate it as money being evil or bad or something like that. Or it could have been that your parents decided to open a business, and that business failed, and as a result of that, the debt collectors came around and took out all your furniture. It was really stressful for your parents, really stressful for you. Suddenly all your stuff got taken out of the house, out of your bedroom and everything. All these people walking in, they took your car, and that could be a specific instance where suddenly you had all this fear around losing money. And so then you never dared step out and open your own business or become an entrepreneur. You want to stay safe and just get your weekly wage or your monthly paycheck or whatever. So that could be like a specific incident where that could have happened. So that's specific instances. Number 2, But like I'm saying, you can change that, and awareness is the key. When you become aware of it, you go, all right, that's why that is. And then you can actually start to just change it within your mind by saying, well, that's just one thing. I can just let go of that now. And you can use different tools and techniques as well, which I'm going to talk about in future videos. But just the awareness is going to start to make that shift for you. The second thing is modeling. And modeling is just modeling other people. Like who do we model when we're younger? Because most of our money blueprint, most of our beliefs and thoughts and feelings around money, they came from when we were children. So when we were younger, who did you model around money? Who did you model around finances? In school, it's quite funny because quite often we have like a business studies class in school, or a class maybe on finances, and it's taught by a teacher who has never had a business, who's just worked for the system and has just brought in this like measly monthly salary. So it's like, who do we model around money? Maybe your parents were, maybe they never invested, maybe they never saved, maybe they spent all their money, maybe they were always, so it's whoever you're modeling, and that's the results you're gonna get. So look to who you modeled, who did you copy, who did you go, okay, that's what they're doing, I'm going to do that. So if your parents always had jobs, they never had a business, and they, then you're probably just going to do that. If your parents are entrepreneurs, then chances are you're going to be an entrepreneur. It's as simple as that, right? Not always, but that's the chances are, because we generally model our parents, we generally model maybe our teachers, a teacher that we like, or we model a religious leader, or we model someone in the media, or some other figure in society, or one of our peers, or whatever, an older sibling. So whoever we're modeling, that's the sort of results we're going to get. So make a choice to model someone who you want to get results like. So look back on your life and go, well, that's the reason I've got these results right now. It's because I've been modeling people who've got those results as well. Unconsciously, often it's unconscious. Often we don't make a decision. Often we don't think about, okay, I want these results, so I'm going to model that person. Unless we are doing something like, we want to be a great musician, so we find someone who's a great musician. We want to be a great athlete. We look at someone who's a great athlete. We just sort of model them, or whatever. So if whatever you want to do, just find someone else who's doing it and model what they're doing. So the results you've got up to now, if they're not the results you want, chances are you're not modeling the people who you really want to model. You've just model people by default because they're the people that's been in your life, in your surrounding area, and you've just done it because that's what you've seen. Monkey see, monkey do. That's it. And especially with kids, they're just going to copy what they see from their parents. They're just going to copy what they see from their teachers, their older siblings, their peers, whatever. So you got to actually step back from that and have an awareness and go, actually, these people around me generally aren't the people I really want to model. Generally. Usually it's somebody else, right? Usually it's someone who's got a very high standard of achievement in something, and that's the sort of person we want to model, right? So that's modeling. 3 is verbal programming. Words are powerful. One of the huge sort of mistake or lie that people say is like, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Words are so powerful. Words will make you, and words will break you. Verbal programming, we're programming ourselves constantly. We're constantly being programmed by what we hear around us, by the media, by the people who are talking around us, and by our internal self-talk as well. We're constantly being programmed. I'm just talking while this thing is just stuck on my thumb right here. It's really cool. I'm just talking, it's just stuck there. I didn't even do that consciously, it just sort of happened. Amazing, huh? So verbal programming. So, what did you hear? If you're broke right now, or you've got some real money issues, remember what you heard growing up. What did your parents, what were their point of view around money? What were the people around you's point of view around money? Was money something that was easy to come by? Was it difficult? Did people say you have to work hard for money? Did people say money doesn't grow on trees? Did people say money is the root of all evil? Especially if you're part of some like religious sect or something like that, people say that, right? Things like that. And if you heard things like that growing up, oh, we can't afford it, it's another one of the people that get a lot. When I hear people, parents say that their kids, oh, we can't afford that right now, or something like that. I'm like, oh, because that kid's just growing up with a really poor money blueprint, and they're just going to walk around with this program going in their head, oh, can't afford it, can't afford it, can't afford it, and that will become their reality, right? So just get rid of that. So whatever the verbal programming is, remember what it was and have the awareness of it and start to change it by starting to put in new programming. Start to put in new programming. Start to reprogram your mind. Reprogram the brain. The neural pathways were wired, and we can rewire ourselves. The brain is plastic. It has plasticity where it can be molded. It can be remolded. So what you want to do is you want to saturate. And when I say saturate, I mean saturate your neural pathways with new programming, with new positive affirmations, incantations, words of power to shift your beliefs, to shift your mindset, to shift your point of view on finances, on money, and what money is in the world and the value of it. And when you do that, then change happens. And you saturate your neural pathways with, and these three things change. That's actually the key. I'm going to write that down. Sounds really good. Boom. Saturate your neural pathways, and that's how you change this, and this. By saturating neural pathways with new, powerful, empowering information, just like you're getting from watching this video series, and just like you'll get when you click on the link below and join our team. You will be saturated with powerful, positive information that will radically transform your life and your reality, your financial blueprint, and give you financial freedom. So make sure you do that. Saturate your neural pathways, change your verbal programming, model who you want to model. By modeling somebody else, that will also be changing your neural pathways. By changing your specific instances, by doing that will change the specific instances. It will rewire yourself. That's what you can do. You need to rewire your brain for success, for financial freedom, and that's what you want to do. You want to click the link below. You want to watch all these videos, and that's how we're going to do it. Simple as that. That's why I'm here. That's why you're here. That's why we're talking right now. This is what we're doing.